Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've just been swamped. Um, I've been really busy with work. I haven't been doing as much trading recently. Just so busy with other things. But made a trade today. I made a trade yesterday too. I traded Nvidia calls yesterday. Um, Problem was I went a little bit too far out of the money. The move went my direction. Let me pull it up for you. I'll show you. I'll give you a ballpark of where I bought at. Um, give you a ballpark of where I bought at so you can see what I did. This was yesterday. Let me get rid of my level 2 so you can see a little better. Yesterday I bought, I think it was right after 10 o'clock. I bought right about here. It pulled back, held this 100 SMA, and bounced back up. So I bought it. It was right about 226 when I bought it. It went all the way up over 227, and my premiums only went up 10 cents. I paid like I think 95 cents. I think they hit $1.10 right here was the highest they went, which is still a good return. But for moving over $1, my premiums only went up 15 cents. I went like 4 steps out of the money on these, just because I didn't want to pay $3 a contract. I looked at it. If I would have went with one, I think I went with the 230, 250 calls. If I would have went with the 230 calls, I would have been up like 20%. Anyway, I sold one here, or sold all but one here, and then I stopped out of the rest right. I think it was right here. No, it was actually right here. I think it was. I stopped out of the rest. I sold part here and the rest here. In the end, with time decay, even though I bought right here and I sold up around these levels, I still lost like $18. I think it was around 8% loss or something like that. Even though it went up $1, I still lost about 8% because I went too far out of the money on those. So let's take a look at today's. Today I traded Boeing, Boeing calls, and before I take credit for this, I was kind of keeping an eye on Boeing because they had some bad news yesterday and really got hit hard. So I thought maybe we'd see a bounce today. Ramp Up Trading alerted the trade in the trade room. I jumped in, so I don't want to say that that this was my trade. I'm not going to take credit for it. The problem is they got in a little bit too early. They got in at 9:42, roughly 9:40. By the time I got in, it was 9:42. I was already watching it. They got in. I thought, okay, it's a good time, so I went ahead and jumped in too. They got in right about here, roughly, and they actually stopped out when this happened. Right around here, they stopped out. I stayed in it. I was watching. Let me look. This is my laptop. It's not my actual trading computer, so I don't have all the stuff on here. Pre-market lows was right here, right about this green line is a pre-market low. Actually, this pink line, the purplish pink line. I wasn't comfortable when it dropped down below the open, but I was kind of looking at this as being my stop out. It was a pre-market low plus pivot point. So trying to highlight that pivot. So I figured this would be my stop out, and I was watching it close, and I was down about 45%. I didn't go in too big. I think I was in for like $350 maybe, so it wasn't a big entry. I was down about 100, I think I was down about 130 at one point. But I was watching that for my stop out. It ended up bouncing before it even got to that, so I'm kind of surprised that it didn't come down and touch that. I thought it would come down and touch that line, maybe drop slightly below it, but it didn't. So it held that, came up here. I sold, bought it at 942. I sold the first contract an hour later at 1044. I sold at 1044, 1045. So 1044 was just about here, and the reason I sold this was because we started getting up close to yesterday's close. So I sold the first one there. Then we popped above this. I sold the second one when we got right about here, and I sold the last one at 1054, which was right here, right at the open of this candle. I had my sell set to sell right about at this pivot point, so it actually triggered right at the close of this candle. Not that it triggered, I had it set for $2, and that's where it sold. It triggered right about here, but I was selling because of this pivot point. And you see, we actually struggled with this pivot point a little bit. We came up, we broke through it here a little bit, came back down, and we never really cleared that pivot point. We broke above it, but not by much. If you look at, let's see, I sold the last one at $2, and I traded the, let's see, 335 calls. So you look at the 335 calls. They're right here. See, this did it again. It still pulled up the Roku, even though I had it set for Boeing. Still pulled up the Roku. A lot of times you have to do this twice. It's one thing I hate about Thinkorswim that bothers me, because a couple of times it's cost me money because I actually bought the wrong thing because I didn't catch it. But you see, these actually went up to $2.49, 247. So these actually hit 247. I sold them at $2 back. The last one was at 1054. So I sold the last one right here, right at the open of this candle, about here. I guess it couldn't have been the open because I sold it for $2. So $2 at 1054, just after 1054. So it was right after the open of this candle. This candle opened here, popped up, and then came down. So it triggered here, and it actually went to 247 up here. When I bought it, it was at 942. So I bought it right here at the open of this candle, 92 cents. The high of this candle was $1. I paid 95. So I bought it at this candle here. You see it went down to 51, so I was down quite a bit, 40-some%. But I didn't go in with a large size. If I would have went in for 10 contracts, yeah, I would have probably, I don't want to say panicked, but I would have sold out here. I would have stopped out and took a loss. Another reason why you don't go in over your head. 1044, 1045. So I sold about the close of this candle, and the only reason why was because I was down so far right here that I just thought if I can get just above break even, I'll sell one of the contracts just to be safe, just to reduce my risk, because it didn't kind of go as I planned. So I went ahead and sold the one. I made like $5 on it. I sold it for $1. I wish I would have held it to here, because that went up to $2.03 on this candle. Would have been nice if I would have held just a little bit longer. I could have, that's an extra $100 there. But it is what it is. I still, in the end, made $136 on. Went in for 95 cents. 95. I went in for 285, and I sold for 421. 421 minus 285 divided by 285, 47.71%. I mean, what I went in for, what I say, 285 bucks. I made 136. Kind of hard to beat that 47%. And this isn't even Friday. I mean, Friday things move a lot faster. Tuesdays they don't move quite as fast. So I'm happy with that. That's the only trade I made today. The only trade I'm gonna make today. Market's a little top heavy right now. I'd be a little bit careful about getting in anything long right now, and I don't think I get anything short right now. I don't know where it's going to go. We're kind of, I think we need to see either a little bit of a sell-off or see a little bit of consolidation, then a move back up. But I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback here myself. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy. Look at SPY. Everything's a little bit heavy right now. Daily chart. Yeah, you see it's almost a doji there. I mean, kind of a hanging man here and a little bit of a doji here. So we're in lighter volume. It's still, I mean, we still have another hour to go, but that's definitely lighter volume. You see smaller body here, smaller body here. That's pretty much a doji here. Open was 319.92 and the current's 319.91. So we're looking at a doji today if we close about where we're at now. I'd like to see a pullback down into here somewhere, down around the 315 level. 312, 315, 313 to 315. Get a pullback somewhere into there so we can make another move higher. But that's kind of what I'm looking for and hoping happens. But I said 47% today on Boeing calls. Happy with that. Can't complain. I'll try to get a little bit more consistent on my videos. But like I said, I just have a lot going on right now with work. So time's definitely an issue here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.